Coming up on Mental Health Matters with Marty, stress in the Black community. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Yes, it's me. It's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you always live in living color in Southern California, where the sun and the heat index is always shining. Listen, hope you are doing well. What's going on out there? How you feeling? How you living? How you doing? Yes, that's what I always gotta say. How you feeling, y'all? Y'all, I'm so glad to be back home. Last week I was in the big O, Ohio, dealing with my family reunion, and we had a death in the family, but let's shout out to my family. It was always good seeing them. And we are back doing what we do here in SoCal, again, where the sun is shining and good times is always happening. So how you feeling and how you living? Hope everyone is doing well. Crazy week that's been happening. We've been having some great topics and great things going on. But listen, if you're here, please invite someone else to come out and join us today, because we'd love to have you in this conversation about stress that's happening in our community. But I've had a great week, even though it's been a crazy week already. But let me remind you about what we do at Mental Health Matters and Mental Health Marty here with our show. Mental Health Marty is an psychoeducational show that is intended for your help, and we are not a replacement for seeing your therapist, seeing your psychiatrist, seeing your doctor, or anyone else, but we are a supplement to what you are doing and what you are experiencing, or whether we want to be a part of your treatment plan. Why? Because too many of us are secretly suffering in silence, in the shadow of shame. And definitely we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. That's what I say. Speak up, speak out, and live. But again, if you're experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency, we want you to go to your nearest urgent care. Why? Because you need to get some help. And we're so glad about the new number that has come out. 811. That's it. 811 is the mental health helpline. Help Lifeline, if you're experiencing any type of mental health strategies or mental health awareness. I'm getting all my words mixed up today, y'all. Any type of mental health stress, you can dial 811, not 911. 811 is a national line so that you can get help without calling necessarily the police, but we get the right help in there for you. So we're so excited about this new number that has dropped just over a week ago, to help those of us and people who are experiencing mental health challenges without necessarily alerting the police or anything, but getting professionals in there. And hopefully some professionals that look like us, who understand what a mental health crisis looks like, so that we're not drugged to the police stations or anything else like that, but getting the proper care that we need. Listen, let us know you're out there. Who's out there? Let us know you're out there, that you're listening, where you're listening from, and all that great stuff. But we are trying to also promote all those great things that are happening on our YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel, we want you to subscribe and do so now. Please make sure you do that so that you can stay informed of all the information. Thank you, Daryl. My producer in the back saying, Marty, I gave the wrong information. It's 988. 988. 988 is the number if you're experiencing any type of mental health crises. I should know that, but it's brand new. So 988, not 911, but 988. A wonderful platform, and it's a great opportunity if you're experiencing anything. Kanitha, what it do? How you doing, baby? Good to see you out there. Listen, so glad that so many of you are out there and listening to us. But listen, every first Tuesday of the month, I got my crew here with me. So glad to have them. And you know what? We do this thing about topics and mental health topics in the Black community. Talking about talked about Black Christ, Black culture, Black community, all those great things. Miss Tanya Hill, definitely, we appreciate you always being a supporter of what we do with that. So I am so glad. Yes, good evening. Definitely keep telling us. Let us know you're out there. And listen, if you got something you want us to talk about and have some discussion, throw some questions in the comment sections. And Daryl, the Mac in the back, is back there making sure that we get all of the proper information and everything. We are so glad that you're joining us. So listen, come on. Get those comments in. Let us know you're listening and what is going on. But I want to introduce to you Melanie. How are you? Listen, I want to introduce you to none other than my brother from my mother. This is my blood brother. I'm so glad to have this brother with me. Listen, we have a great time, and so glad he joins me on the first Tuesday of every month. He is really the reader of the family. I fake it. He's really the reader. He's the one who does his amazing podcast called the B-Side Podcast with none other than Bobby, my brother Rob Sellers. What's going on, Bobby?
Hey, man, what's good with you, man? How you doing?
Listen, we're taking it one day at a time. How you feeling out there?
I'm feeling all right, just enjoying this heat at the moment. That's it. I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it, huh?
Yeah,
Listen, I got my we keep our family towel right next to us.
Oh, man, it's rough sometimes. But, hey, we'll manage. We managed before. We'll manage again.
We'll manage again.
But what up, bro? Again. What's happening?
Nothing, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right,
Okay. You are always reading. What's on your read list here lately? Because you always have a great book that you are reading.
No. Right now I'm reading. I'll be messing up her name. It's a tongue twister, but anyway, Dr. Frances Cress Wessling. I'm reading the Osiris Papers, and I'm reading her mentor, Neely Fuller, the Compensatory Code book. So I'm reading both of them. Neely Fuller Jr. He's still alive, still got his shows going on. He's like at the age of 92. But anyhow, I'm reading the mentor and the student. So the Osiris Papers by Dr. Wessling and Neely Fuller's codifinement code book. Yep.
I got it. Okay, got the family on here. Mama, Amy said, oh gosh, how, yes, you're going to handle it just fine when you come out here. Family is coming out next week as we celebrate the graduation of my son. He's graduated, thank God, from college, so we're excited about that. Yes. Salute. Yes, Junior, I was talking to Mom today. And she goes, this is the first Tuesday. Listen, all my favorites are going to be there. She goes, I just love you guys. You, my son Bobby, and Dr. Sean and Dr. Margarita Story. They're my faves. And so I was just like, yes, Mom, we hear you. So you got Mom on here. Love you guys. So I had to give a shout out to moms and everything. But listen, let's bring on our sister from another mister. She is the real deal, y'all. And we are so excited to have her join us every first Tuesday of the month. She has an earned, touch your neighbor, say earned doctorate. Is not one that is honorary, and she is none other than the wonderful queen herself, the Reverend Dr. Margarita Story.
Hey there, you guys. It is so good to be with you guys. I feel like on Tuesdays I get to stay up late with my brothers, and so
that's right.
I'm so grateful to be with you guys, and I'm glad it's hot out there and not hot here. And so y'all hold on to the hot.
Hold on to the heat. Yes.
You hold on to the hot. We'll take what we got. Right.
Yeah. Dr. Story, wait a minute. Yes. You're the woman in red tonight, baby.
What, honey? Bring it in. When we talking about stress, baby, I needed to scream on the screen. Listen, I said if they don't know, hey Melody, how are you, baby? They need to know, Arlene Spears, good to see you, baby. They need to know, baby, it is stress going on out here.
They're stressing them streets, huh?
In them
and these COVID streets.
No, these the gospel streets.
Okay.
There's some stress going on in the gospel streets. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, I don't know if y'all heard about it, but one of the pastors in New York got robbed at his church.
I saw it. Okay, we gotta talk about that. Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
In
As
the
my
gospel street.
It looked like a
yes, in the
setup.
gospel street. Listen, as Lucille used to tell us, Junior, but my grandma, she was like, hold the phone. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick. Hold the phone. So we're gonna hold the phone on that one and bring in none other than the bishop himself. Come on, is a great coronary that's about to happen. None other than Bishop Sean Stewart.
Hey family, how is everybody? So good
Hey,
to see
baby.
you all. Y'all doing good?
We making it happen. How you feeling?
Listen, I'm glad to be seen and not viewed. I'm gonna just put that on out there. Seen and not viewed.
Yes.
And I don't think the reason Story is gonna have to go to purgatory to heaven because she keep talking about this heat. Well, if you live in Texas, you automatically get to go to heaven.
What you say?
Yeah,
Nah,
the heat in Texas, you automatically get to go. Automatically.
Bobby,
Yeah,
we
we
know
get it.
Texas. Y'all Texas cause too much hell to just get an automatic pass.
But Bobby is shining. He ain't even shining down here. He's shining.
Man, this heat is no joke.
He greasy
Oh my
with
God!
no oil.
I done took off my
Now,
glasses. I'm hot.
Yeah, he greasy with no oil. Yeah, he greasy with no oil.
Wait,
baby.
wait,
Like,
but-
yeah. Now,
but
we
here's
don't talk about it. Now, he greasy with no
Bobby
oil.
lives by the water. I don't. He lives by the water.
Whatever. It's hot.
Which means his baptism didn't stick. So you
I'm out here with these Republicans. They giving us hell.
listen, listen, if that's the case, Houston finna burn because Raphael Ted Cruz is in Houston, but he
Yes.
likes to retreat to the Ritz-Carlton when it gets cold.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
But when they start asking for green cards, he got one. So stop
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
because his daddy
He's a
made,
turncoat, no
made
question.
sure they had two of them.
it.
Oh.
Hey there,
Okay.
Sanders. Y'all crazy. They
Okay,
laughing at
we better back on program. And we thank God for the sound, man.
Yes, we do. Okay, let's talk about, since we talk about, tonight's topic is definitely stress in them streets and stress in the black community, as what we talked about. But can we talk about, I know that guns are everywhere. We didn't give people permission. Now our Aunt Fanny, now we was known, in Detroit. Now Aunt Fanny would carry her pistol to church. Now she believed in peace, PEACE. But she also carried her piece just in case the first piece was not available.
exactly.
You
That's how
heard the
you
story
call
about.
the church to order.
Yeah, she called it to order. Now nobody mess with Aunt Fanny. Yeah. She's known in the family for carrying her piece to church.
Hey, sometimes you got to carry that piece to get them heathens off of you.
Well,
Glory.
and even them believers.
Hey.
Even them believers.
Yeah, you got to check the believers too.
Hey, them believers can be heathens too. They come
Yes,
in all
yes.
forms, shapes, and colors.
But
Yeah.
nobody believes it's real till they get a sword. And
Peace in the city.
bullets don't. Sometimes bullets leave fractures, they leave wounds, but you'll believe in healing after the fact.
Yeah.
And
Right.
sometimes some people need the testimony of the wound.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pass on that. I got enough stripes on my own. But can we talk about this pastor? Now I got mixed emotions because he went on another site cussing everybody out. But that's a whole nother story.
Wait. Who did?
The pastor that got robbed
that pastor-
in New York.
The reader share service with.
Bishop, you're breaking up on us.
You breaking up
Oh,
on us.
that-
I know you got something to
I'm
say.
sorry.
Don't say it.
I did said that that's the pastor that Rita is in the city with. That's all I said.
Oh, he said
Right.
that's your city,
But
Dr. Story.
Wrong city. But that's okay. Because we're in a whole nother borough. We down state, wrong city. Right. Right. I'm the queen from Queens. Amen.
Come on.
And this bishop from Brooklyn. And let the church say amen. And
Amen.
the people in Queens, we don't wear $100,000 worth of jewelry. To the
No,
church.
ma'am.
Amen.
No, ma'am.
Don't. We get our jewelry, our church jewelry come from paparazzi. Amen. It's a $5 set with the earring, the necklace, and the bracelet. $5. I don't go to churches that we be rocking $100,000 with the jury in the gospel street. In the gospel street. And then to have the brethren up there kicking their legs and they even worried a gun pointed to their head out in the gospel street. I said, now this look like a planned event up in here.
It was too smooth.
It did, it was too smooth. It was too smooth, and he fell to the floor too quick.
The people in Queens, it would have been a ruckus up in there. Because let me tell you what I know, like my eyes are brown. No one would have been seated. For nobody, nobody would have still been seated. With a real gun pulled out, boom, they'd have put me right in front of them as they was running. Lord, she'll be all right. Yeah, my hotel up and bend their shield. She'll be all right. She'll be all right because we know she's going to heaven. So go on and tell our people, hey, listen, it was like she said facts. I'm trying to tell you, in these gospel streets, it would, baby, they'd have been up out of there. That man would have been trying his best to hold his gun. Hey there, Candace. He'd have been trying his best to hold his gun because of the vibration on the ground. Because the saints would have been gone. It'd have been clear about it.
I can't. Junior, you're shaking your head. You're shaking your head.
And listen, the kind of trustees I got, let me go on and say it. Let me go on and say the whole thing. The trustees I got, if they'd have noticed I had some real jewelry on, they'd have pawned it already so we could have paid the bill. They'd have snatched it off of me on their own and paid the bill through the rest of the year. Been like, Pastor, listen, we're sorry, but that's what's up. Like, we ain't gonna be begging people because you know summertime is late. We good now. Cause listen, they done took my stuff. Rob, no, you don't know
you painting a picture clear picture. You painting a level. Your picture is clear, very clear.
I can't. Okay, I am not gonna have a coronary right here on.
It wouldn't have been nobody from the outside in Brooklyn. It would have been my trustees who would have held me up downstairs or right at the vestibule. You're gonna take that ring off, Pastor. We asking nice, or either the deacon's willing to
money.
Take
Queens
the
get
deacon's
the money.
willing to take. Yeah, she rolled up in here $400,000 worth of jewelry. The devil is a liar.
I can't. Okay, so we know passing up. For those you want to know, Pastor wearing her paparazzi. Now she got the
don't take my thing.
$5. That's right.
That's the ring. It's the earring.
$5.
The necklace.
$5 prop.
Yeah.
That the
Moral of the story.
$5
Why are
long.
you wearing that jewelry out in the first place? Why are you wearing that jewelry out?
First off, if you
why you got four
$100,000
members in your church? Why you got 4 members in your church and that kind of money? That's what I want to know. Why your church look like that? Come on, finish. What other questions you got?
You got wholesale prices going on in the back or something. Come on. I'm not going there. No.
Well, listen, he done already cussed the people out, so I'm sure
he has
slid my name up under that. So that's okay. It's okay. Because I know how to cuss. That's a love language for me anyway, so I would never be able to.
Yeah, that is a love language.
Bobby, you awful quiet tonight.
Hey, no, I'm listening. She painted the picture. I mean, what can you add to that story? She shut it down.
She shut it down. Shut it down.
Queens get the money.
Mm-hmm.
And the pastor is the shield.
Right.
So, and why does the prayer closet look like that? We not answering that one, Sister Candace. A love language, yes.
That is a love language, honey. But I think one of the things it does bring up, whether it was staged or real, there's something going on in the church where there is no longer a safe haven in the church. That there is anything that may come from the street into that sacred space, and that's one of the things that we've got to get a hold of. That we don't longer live in that time where sacred spaces are off limits, and we've got to understand that things have changed. So when y'all talk about y'all auntie carrying a weapon, I understand one of the reasons why she believes that, but then it also brings up something about our true safety, and we at a place where we need to begin to rethink
Yes.
some of how we engage with new individuals that are coming in and all of the rest of it. We do need to think about that, I believe, as we're making fun of it, and jest of it. The truth of the matter is we do need to be concerned about spaces that used to be sacred that are no longer that way for some individuals.
Exactly. When we're talking about the protect, just the whole sanctity of it.
Mhm.
There have been, and I thought, Junior, help me out. In L.A., there was kids playing football, and two adults and a child were shot. We can't even go to sporting events anymore. We can't go to schools, and I'm so concerned. And please, Dr. Sean, Bishop, even talk to that because I know you're down there with Uvalde and all that's going on and helping that transition. And I was just talking to someone on yesterday and how they're even training the guards at the various schools. And she's saying that, one, even if there's a shooter and some kid is knocking on the door, that they cannot open the door because they don't know if the shooter has that kid. And it's almost like you're sacrificing that one kid. And she goes,
Jesus,
Marty, I can't risk
Jesus,
the 35 for the one.
yeah,
Exactly. And that hard choice. And so we're so out of control. And I love that the Saints is on here chiming in. I love you, Saints. Keep going. As I said, misappropriating lives the longest. The people want their stuff back. Candace, but even Sister Wanda says the devil is busy, and we have to be. I'm with you. We have to be vigilant. We can no longer wait on society and leadership to change our lives. We have to take it back. And I like this. Yes, it's very stressful. Put Kanitha's comment back up there, if you will, please. Yes, it is very stressful to feel that our children are unsafe at school. Bishop, talk to us about that because I really want to create safety plans, and I'm going to start next week doing a series on this. How do we help our children and
I think
parents?
that can you all hear me? Because I'm trying
Yes,
something new. You can't.
yes,
One of the
yes,
things that I want to name for everybody is that school boards have to have people on them who look like us, that sound like us, that
yes.
represent us.
Say that again.
The the way that our former president have left things is that they are now picking up school board seats, local commissioner
Mm-hmm.
seats. They're in our police stations, sheriff's offices, and so now schools are no longer safe. Let's put it in perspective. The active shooter protocol requires that we put students in the center of a room,
Mm-hmm.
close the door, and lock it. Those
Mm-hmm.
brick walls do not stop AR-15 bullets.
right,
Right.
So
right.
then,
Right.
what? So the teacher who was here in Uvalde with me, his observation was, I did everything you taught me how to do,
Mm.
and every one of my kids died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Imagine the guilt that that man is living with now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then our governor,
Survivor's remorse.
My God.
it, but then you got the baby who is now. This is tragic. The only thing she knew to do was to cover herself in another student's blood
Yes.
to pretend to be dead.
Yes.
But then on the church side, it was the blood, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so on the church side, but
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
side, it's not right. And then
Right.
our governor has found time to be in areas, but not at none of those funerals. We had
Mm.
19 kids, two teachers that died. He never showed up to one. Then the report that was written has the names and the integrity of a bunch of people, but it's a political stunt.
It
If we really
is.
want to be concerned about students, then the first thing we should talk about is why is it a AR-15 is needed to go hunting? What do you need to
Mm.
protect in your home that requires the
Mm-hmm.
AR-15? Now, if
Mm-hmm.
we really want to get, it doesn't matter. It does not, Candace. And then further, the next thing we need to talk about is policy. We can
Mm-hmm.
be as pissed off as we want, but
Mm-hmm.
until we get to the people who write the policy, all of your arguments sit where you leave them.
Yes.
They
Is
don't
this our girl
change anything.
Candace? This is my
Yeah,
girl
Yeah, this
Candace.
Candace. That's Candace.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Candace.
Candace, I need you next week. I'll talk to you. I need you on the show next week, baby. Go
Because
ahead.
because here's we have not
Yeah.
prepared. The process that we use to keep kids safe is what got kids murdered,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we're not talking. Okay, so fine. we put the brick building up. Let's talk about this. We put brick building. Fine. That school is closed. They're putting those kids in T buildings, modular buildings. If the brick building didn't keep the bullets out, the hell is a tin building gonna keep bullets out? I'm asking for me. I'm just asking for me. Even if that person is a half a mile out with an AR-15, when he shoots that gun, it still penetrates right through the tin in that T building, that modular building. So then when do we get to the place where we start putting funds where we have facts?
That's right.
We don't have facts about critical race theory, but we got policy about it.
Right.
We don't have fundings for safety. Watch this. The school officers that they call officer are security people.
At best.
At best. And then if you have a police officer, they're in off-duty status, so they can't operate in the full function of their office because they're not there in full status. So then each district would have their own police officer, but we saw what happened. The chief of police in Uvalde completely blundered this for 70 minutes. So when we look, we have to go the conversation about uniformity in safety, accountability, and funding.
And it starts, if I can say this, Bishop, it starts, and then go ahead, Dr. Strife, it starts at your local school district.
Local school district.
You got to get involved. Bobby says it all the time. Get involved right where you're at.
Yes.
In your city, in
policy.
your in your community, because that's how we make the difference. Go ahead, Dr. Story. Talk to us.
Well, I was just going to add to a little bit of what Sean was saying, but one of the things that's a little different in New York is that they do have police officers there. They are not off duty, and they will shoot you. They have no, I mean they have.
But I love it.
Where you got to go through the
metal detectors. You sit in the vestibule, security doors magnetized.
You can't take your phones on the inside. They got to leave their phones on the outside. And a lot of the kids are having to pay to leave their phone at the bodegas and the stores so that when they have a break, they can get off, because if they even needed to contact. So I'm giving some more information, because even if they needed to say we're in jeopardy or in danger, they can't call nobody.
You couldn't.
Right.
You can't have no doggone phone in there unless they able to hide it in the orifice that somebody's checking. And so
that's the point I'm making, Dr. Story.
Right.
That is the point I'm making. That in Jersey, New York, y'all have that. In Texas, in Houston, we might have a true to form police officer in his day job, but in that position on my campus, he's an off-duty officer. Yes, he's in uniform, but he doesn't have the same privileges. And so I'm saying, just in that alone, we need Department of Ed to uniformly say that for educational purposes, for safety, it's this level of accountability, it's this level of funding, and then this is what must happen when those people are there. The state shouldn't be able to design that, because then the funds go places that we don't have facts that we need. If politicians do what educators have to do and make data-driven decisions, there is no reason why we should have AR-15s running around the nation right now with the data that says how many kids have died.
Yeah.
Right.
If we were making data-driven decisions.
Well, all this is policy. We got to get the right people in office to represent us. Yes, we have to save democracy again. Yes, we got to go through all these matters just to get our vote. But that's only how we're going to change things. We've seen what's going on. Congress, aka the GOP, in the Senate, they don't want to do anything. Guns, they're not guns, whatever the place may be. They don't want to do anything. Too many of them are funded by it. The Justice Force.
But they don't even want to take care of the veterans. So they're not going to take care of the veterans. Then they're going to do nothing for us. Yeah, we stuck out.
Vote on this matter. That's only how it's going to change. That's only how to change. Texas, Beto. You got to vote for Beto.
Straight out.
Right.
Midterm, that will make the difference. We don't have to sit.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Bobby, you froze there for a quick second.
Turn over our vote once again. We have to come and save democracy because if not,
go ahead.
Gun policy is going to stay the same. It's evident. It's evident.
But all lives don't
the whole
matter.
system
though.
basically is all jacked up. We know this.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead, Dr. Story. You're saying what?
But just to the point that Bobby's making, it's because lives don't really matter, and because money matters more than anything else. The reason
Yes.
why you can have an AR-15 out there is because money matters more than anything else. And just like Bishop is saying, you got little children that are dying, and we still got a Congress and a Senate that can't pass anything because everybody's hand is shoved in the pocket of those that are running things, and
Mm-hmm.
that this capacity to have these assault rifles out because somebody feels like they have the right to shoot and hunt game. So then are we the
Right.
game? Is that what they're saying, and we're not
Yes.
understanding
Uh-huh.
that
Mm-hmm.
we're
The
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 game?
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games. It's a
Yeah.
modern day
No,
version of the
yeah.
Hunger Games.
Because
Okay.
we are being haunted and murdered at no price. We're
Mhm.
Mm.
just now seeing officers pay for if they improperly do something. But we've been paying a long time, even if we didn't do it. And so
Hence.
now,
Hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and so hence we are now that we're saying, you know, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble. In the public school, all these shootings don't mean much until we get a private school massacre where people who make
And
eighty
that's so
thousand
sad and
and can pay
tragic.
for it, because then when it happens to them, because here is what we believe: it never can happen to us. Well, it has happened to us, and
Many times.
the worst call you ever have to make as an educator in administration, I've had to do this a couple of times, is to call a spouse and tell him or her that your
Yes.
spouse came to school to do their job, but I'm sorry, they will not be returning home ever again.
I can't
Or that your
imagine what
child
that
came to
feels like.
school, but then
Yes.
none of my formidable training taught me that to teach me how to walk people through.
Yes.
I got people, but if I didn't have my training on the church side, we wouldn't be able to walk people through that. And
Mm-hmm.
it is that we have to walk people through this when it's not necessary. This is not necessary.
None of it is.
Exactly.
None
Hence
of it
why we
is.
have so much, and I'm going to say that I don't believe we've even seen the aftermath from not only this. So we have these shootings that continue to go on. Black Lives Matter. You had all of that because of the PTSD. We saw that with George Floyd and so many others, and
Hmm.
now we're having
Hmm.
this complicated, and I'm calling this complicated because it's goes without true explanation because it just doesn't make sense. And hence we have all this stress and anguish and anxiety that continues to plague our communities to we're almost becoming numb and void of it, of the feelings of it. And I agree with Dr. Rita Walker down there at University of Houston, wonderful African American psychologist. And she says the black community has been in trauma for so long,
So
and Dr.
long.
That we no longer can recognize or even process when we are in crises. And we are in crisis mode right now, even across the country of our people of color. Dr. Story, you didn't call it just stress, but you called it what?
Trauma.
Strama. Please explain strama.
I believe it's a connect between stress and drama. I mean, there's this drama going on all over the
Yes.
place, and stresses, and so I call it trauma. I don't just have stress. It's stress and
Yes.
drama all at the same time. There are some dramatic things that are
Yes.
going on with COVID that is still going on. Now we got monkeypox that's going at the
Yes.
doggone time. We got states that are putting people back in mass because even though
Yes.
they've already said that the shots and even the additional vaccines, they're not working, it is something. But then when we just talk about stress, Marty, I don't believe it's just emotional and feelings. I believe
It's not.
that it is
Mm-mm.
a
It's
spiritual
Come
stress
on.
a
that
system.
also
Hmm.
exists at the
But
same
but you're
time.
right.
where we're not able to find meaning and peace and comfort and strength and connection, and everything that's going on says don't get around them, because COVID is like don't be around other people. Monkeypox is like, I don't even know how you get that, but I mean, I don't know if it's airborne as well. And so it's like don't be around anybody else. And I've got seniors who still have not been out of the house in over 2.5 years. Then you've got the violence that's in the communities that are going on, and then we got a church praying, but then we don't see the power of God coming. And there are spiritual distresses that people are going through because we bought in to a fallacy of who God is, and not
listen,
the truth of who he is, and that there are some things you can't shondo, rondo, or hondo away.
Come on.
You can't make God do. Some things you're going to have to just go through, and you're going to have to get through it by the grace of God. And so that's one of the things that I believe that we have going on, the realities of all of the drama that you got, kids going out, you got senior citizens getting beat up. And rape and all of that is not safe for little children. That's dramatic, and it's stressful all at the same time. And then we've got spiritual stressors going on. So then we've got emotional and spiritual stress going on all at the same time. And there's not peace. There's not a capacity for us to have hope. And many times I believe people are giving up and allowing what is going on in their lives to override even what they believe the word of God says, and they believe that God is capable of doing. And so I believe we're at a place where we've got to gain some spiritual perspective, as well as ensuring, as Bobby and Sean have brought up, that we got to vote. We got to stop acting like our vote doesn't count. Because it counts when you don't vote, like 2 to 3 times more than it does when you do vote. Vote. I don't care what it's for. School board, you got to vote. You got to vote for absolutely everything.
That part.
Better than nothing.
And we act like we want to be oblivious, and then we want to cuss everybody out when they're not picking up our trash. You didn't vote. You didn't vote on the city council. You didn't vote on anything, and we've got to start doing some things.
Yes. Just like,
and we need to hold them.
Go ahead, Bobby.
We have got to hold people accountable. Political offices, they get in positions, and then soon as they get in, they already have a blueprint on how to get paid while they're in office, how to get paid when they're out of office. We have got to start putting things in place that we hold them accountable. There is no way I could have a teacher in my classroom who could not demonstrate mastery of content, keep a schedule, present on time, doesn't turn on the lesson plan. But then we can have a Congress and a Senate of folk who don't come, don't vote, got 6-figure salaries, have security. And then we're not going to talk about you have incited violence by giving a fist bump, but you're running like a chicken with your head cut off on camera when your people get in there.
Yeah, propaganda, all fake stuff. But that's what it is, you know.
It's fake.
That's what it is. And we got to knock these cats down, meaning verbally, not physically. All these brothers and sisters talk about they don't vote. Listen, to make things even matters worse. Yo, honestly, we're prisoners of war here. All right? We're prisoners of war. And if any prisoner of war, person in prison, if you can get a vote, you take that vote. You got to get what we got to take what we can get at this point. We don't own anything. We don't have the power. So all this talk, we need to do something. We need to get in here, vote, get these people in office who has our agenda because we voted them in, and then hopefully some of these things can change. But until then, we can't do anything.
And we need to stand in line. We have got to get some endurance. Like, Rita said it well. We're going through these things. But if you don't have, if you got the endurance to stand in the line to get in the club, and then endurance to stand in the line to go see Beyonce, and then endurance to stand in the line to go to Saks or to Max, or if you can stand up 12 hours and get paid, clearly you can stand up 5 hours to go vote to be sure your daughter has a right to make a choice.
That's good.
Right. Clearly Go ahead, story. Go ahead.
But the other part of it is, it's not just voting. When you go hold somebody accountable, I'm not standing outside. I'm calling you, and you better call me back. I don't care you better call me back. And I'm
Yes.
telling you, I'm about to blow up and I don't mean blow up, but I'm getting ready to email you like you crazy, because I'm not playing with you. You work for
Yes.
me, but we act like they work for somebody else. If y'all gonna take Texas, baby, you work for me, and you're gonna be my personal congressman. You gonna know who I am, and you gonna do what I need, and you gonna
Come
know
on,
what my
personal
opinion is.
congressman.
You're going to be my personal senator, because if you're going to sit in that place and say that you run this little spot that I live in, that blessed, you better have somebody that's going to respond to me. And I'm telling y'all, that's
You better
one
talk to
thing
us,
that we
Story.
don't do. People will not do that. And I get it, we need to vote. But just like Bobby was saying, how you hold them accountable? It is not talking trash about them. That's right, have a paper trail, Rhonda. I will email you, baby, till I get on your nervous. Their receptionist gonna have my name, your assistant. Ma'am, you called the other, I showed this, how you doing today? I ain't got no phone call back, and I'm still asking the same doggone question. Let him know my number's 3475. Doggone, that's what the telephone number
Yes.
is to call
Yes.
me back. Because we
Yes.
also got to have an expectation, and we got to know their numbers, because it's public. We got to know their email addresses. It's
It's
public.
public.
And because it's public, use your voice. You done voted them in. Now use your voice.
And
That's
even
good.
if you vote them in, once they're in office, they still work for you.
Yes.
Hold them
Absolutely.
accountable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people
Hold them accountable.
go to congress.gov. You'll see all the bills that they have up. We have to start paying attention to that. Go to
Come on and talk to us,
congress.gov.
Bobby.
They will show each and every bill that goes forth through Congress, and it'll let you know where it stops at. Trust and believe. The House has been doing a phenomenal job. White House got a issue. This administration got an issue of communicating. Everything damn near what we asking for, a lot of it is passed through the House. It stops in the Congress, in the Senate.
Yes.
GOP specifically. So people, go to congress.gov. You'll see every bill
That's
up
good.
there. So we'll pay attention. Congress.gov, whitehouse.gov, wh.gov, justice.gov. We got to visit these sites and let us know what's going on. We have to pay attention.
That's
And
good.
I just want to ask Kristen Cinema a question, baby. Who do you work for?
Yes.
I just want to
Exactly.
who
Turncoat.
actually. I mean, Marjorie. She's clear about who she works for, and
Yes.
Bob is clear. But I need somebody in Arizona to come help me understand, like
Yes.
who work for, because I've never seen anybody say, I don't think we need to raise the taxes on the people who can pay. We should increase the tax on the folk who can't. Like, what the hell is that?
Right.
But
And then my last question, and my
That's
last question. Dr. Story, because I'm slow. I'm an educator. You know, I all 21 of my years I've worked at special ed. You know, I don't do nothing normal. I work at special ed. Can you help me understand, just because I'm slow, how is it that we can have people in office who refuse to vote in favor of things that benefit their constituencies and keep their jobs? And secondly, what is Christian nationalism or national? What? I was looking.
White supremacy.
I've seen Christian. I've seen Jesus. I have looked in the Torah. I have looked in the Greek, the Hebrew. I've even looked in the Latin derivatives. I work in special ed. Christian nationalism. I called God, and he didn't answer on that call. I was wondering if you maybe could help us. Because we don't do what Jesus do. We do Christian nationalism, because according to the preacher, Democrat, Christian. I was looking in the text. I didn't see that either.
And we got to get caught off, because what they're doing is trying to now make Christ white, and
Again.
And they're gonna bust hell wide open. This is not that show, but we with that. But anyway, You know, that's a whole nother topic. With that, Lord have mercy, Candace. I'm praying your strength in the Lord in these last and evil COVID days out here in these
That's
streets.
facts right there, Candace. Facts.
Yeah, say
Facts,
that.
Candace. They
Say
ain't even
that.
got to wear the robe no more. We know this.
No,
That's what he
that's
said.
right.
Now that is the exact.
But let me say this with this Christian nationalism, because you done struck the match, doggone, let the fire burn.
Take out the
and-
Christian.
Well, baby.
Take out the
It's
Christian.
all.
No, but Christian nationalism, many people are suggesting that it is born out of the Old Testament, where God chose.
But it's not.
Okay, I'm just trying to told you.
You just a
where it's
message.
She's trying to
I'm
told you.
I'm trying to tell you where it's coming from. And because of us not having enough individuals who know the word of God, we don't have the capacity to articulate the fact that it is idiots who are attempting to translate or revelate what the word of God is saying. And the word of God is not talking about even a nationalism at all. It is talking about a culture that was established through a people. And because of us having the lack of spiritual education, you got everybody doing like this. And then you got people believing that they have a right to something and shifting and changing things. And if the black church don't get somebody in a class, it's going to be
that
where
part.
Christianity continues to be dismantled while we're alive, because now we've got it where Christ ain't got to be crucified or resurrected in order for him to be the Son of God. We got all kinds of mess going on, and then we got white folk believing that Jesus was white. Boo, you ain't even got to read the whole Bible to understand that God not white off in Egypt, and it don't get out. I don't know what you gotta be, but crazy to believe something like that. And then you got black folk walking around talking about you serving a white God. Baby, stop talking. Okay, I'm quiet.
Hey, we all know that we all praise two different gods. Okay, let's cut it down the middle. The white Christians, whatever, that's all they just. White supremacists. That's all they are. That's the only religion they believe in is white supremacy. Because if that's the case, if they were true Christians, why is there the white Christians? Why all these labels when you're supposed to be Christian? Why, how are you going to a black church? How is it a Hispanic church? It's all messed up. It's all messed up.
Yeah, and it plays into our all psyche, and we wonder why we're walking around here, and I'm going to say it this way, spiritually schizophrenic. And then it rubs into our personal lives as well, because we're never seeing things through the true lens of wholeness and healness. I like what you were saying, Dr. Story and Bishop Sean. We were talking about the overall health and wellness of the individual. And too many of us are not well and completely well because we have too many schisms in our spiritual walk and thought. We have too many schisms in our emotional walks and thoughts. We have too many schisms in all areas. And so there's no way you can walk in the same way unless you get healing and help in those areas. And although we make fun of this, spiritually bipolar, yeah, that's what. Well, listen, I said they were schizophrenic, which takes them to a whole other level on them bipolar. That's the next level.
In them bipolar streets, right?
Yeah.
I just need to know that in your bipolar emotional disturbance, that it's not just, it is prayer plus your therapist.
Yes.
I said it.
Yes.
I said it is not just prayer, it is prayer plus your therapist and your prescription, depending on what's going on.
Yes.
I've got to get to the place where that once we filter through all this work, you still have work to do.
Yes. And you'll always have work to do. And that's why one of the challenges. Can I go here with those who are bipolar and schizophrenic? Since we went there, one of the challenges is when they get well is keeping them on their medications because they believe that now that I've done this, I don't have to. I have high blood pressure, and they recently put me on cholesterol. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord, and I have to make sure that I maintain and take those meds. Speaking that DSM-5. Come on, Jeff. Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
But I have to take those meds even when my pressure is proper and my cholesterol level. Why? Because by continuing to take it, it makes sure that I stay regulated and that I stay in the same frame of mind so I'm not getting the headaches. So I'm not feeling the pressure on that. So that I'm not taking in too much salt and all these other things so that my body functions as it was designed to do. And too many of us, we are not functioning as our bodies are designed to do because we are not putting in the work and we're not continuing the work to make sure that we stay regulated emotionally, financially, all the leads you want to carry. Go ahead, Bishop Sean.
We have to get to this one theory. Consistency will build a habit and consistency will break one.
Yes.
And the name of the game, the reason the blood pressure medicine and all of that stuff to your psychotropics for your mental stability, if
Yes.
you don't take them at the same time every day,
Every
then the
day.
reason you're off, the medicine isn't working. You're not consistent. And
Right.
I'm willing to
That's
bet you
good.
if we was to measure this in your spiritual walk, what we'll determine is that scripture that says pray without ceasing, the reason you are struggling without support is because you ceased in your prayer.
Mm.
I agree, but Sean, I would add also though too that in the church and as believers, we've learned how to operate in an inauthentic fashion. So it's quite
Mm-hmm.
difficult to be authentic within spiritual circles, and then we lack many times self-actualization. Like we don't know how to really
That's
deal
good.
with what's going on with ourselves. We lack self-love. We lack
Yes.
of what we have going on. We're limiting our emotions, denial. That's right, in denial. We're limiting our emotions, saying that we shouldn't feel like this. God didn't give you a spirit of fear. I ain't talking about having a spirit of fear. I'm telling you, I'm scared now. We don't
Right.
know how
There's
to
a
deal with
difference.
sadness and despair. We're limiting the mental patterns and attitudes that are going on, and we're suggesting that there's a lack of belief and all of that. And the reality is that we've got to have greater self-awareness and introspection, as well as the prayer that you're talking about that has to be consistent. But we also need pastors who teach others how to coach other believers to get through what they're going through. Because just like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying about medication, if I take a scripture, eat on that on Sunday, and I ain't back till the next Sunday, I'm
Ooh.
spiritually gonna be off. But then the other thing is, you got somebody that sounds good spiritually, but they're off. But off on all kinds of tangents because they don't know the word of God, then they're not able to eat and have what they need. We've got to
Mm-hmm.
develop some transparent relationships with one another. And I'm telling you, if I could tell you, baby, I don't care what you do with what I told you, I'm about to get it up off of me. So if you getting ready to put it in the newspaper, it's the truth anyhow.
Put
Put
it.
my social security behind it, but I'm gonna have to do something. So so I some transparent relationships, because if I gotta lie to everybody that I'm around, I've been black all of my life. I've been a woman in a non-traditional environment, from the military to law, in judicial system, as well
And
as the
ministry.
right. I've been in not baby, it's some bull going on, and I need some transparent relationship. That's
Come
why I
on.
love y'all, because when there's some stuff going on, y'all like, girl, you better pick up the phone because we ain't talked to you in a little while. We gotta have some transparency, but
Yes.
y'all also won't let me stay where I am. And somebody that have spiritual strength, the Bible says, those of you that are mature, restore such a one. And
Such
because,
one.
yeah, that finds themselves in a fault and in a flaw. And because the church doesn't have that, our spiritual stresses are going to continue to go on. And we're going to be one of
Ooh.
those elements that may not be able to be a part of somebody's treatment.
Mm.
Now, I'm
And,
telling you that. Telling you that we might not be able to be a part of their treatment because we've got such dysfunction within the kingdom of God
yes.
that somebody might not need to recommend that somebody go to some of our churches. And I'm saying that
Right.
y'all can say
Facts.
whatever y'all want.
Facts.
It's the truth,
Facts.
baby. Because they may end up worse than they were before they got to
Mm.
us.
Talk to me, Bobby, because I saw you. I saw you. I see the wheels
Did you
turning.
see that?
It's all about,
Yeah.
hey, we got to
Yeah.
get back into problem solving, plain and simple. We all got problems to
Yes.
solve. And how you answer, I should say, how you get those problems solved is through
Wow.
questions and answers. Plain and simple. We got to get back to problem solving. We all got a whole lot of problems in our lives that can be solved. We all need help on those. But we need to get back to problem solving and how you solve problems through questions and answers till we find that answer. Keep on questioning yourself. That's what we got to get back into. Problem solving.
But
And you need an accountability partner. You need
that
somebody
part.
that's gonna hold you accountable. That if you all talk and this is your goal, this is your task. There's something a good example. When I'm off, Marty just called, checking on you. I'm only
Mm-hmm.
gonna be able to decline that call once or twice before I get a FaceTime out the clear blue sky.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him blinking
And
them
and
eyes.
and
'Cause-
and and, and that FaceTime is if you don't answer that call, I'm sending people.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's not control, that's
Mm-mm.
conviction.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's connection. That's
But
communication.
how do we
That's
have that?
community.
Yes.
That's
We've
community.
lost. I agree with you. We've lost community. We've lost transparency. We've lost. I say this: we're suffering in silence, and we're
Yeah.
secretly suffering in silence because
Yeah.
Mhm.
if I can isolate, that's one of the biggest deceptions about depression is we want to isolate. But in order to break out of that, we have to get someone. I was talking to a patient today, and I hadn't seen her since the start of the pandemic, and she goes, "I've been wanting to call you." But I just couldn't. I was isolating myself, and so my challenge to her was get out there, open up the windows. It's listen, Miss T. I agree. The village is gone, and we have to
Yeah.
restore the village. We have to restore the village. And how we do that, because we have to make sure we are going against the grain, that I love you enough that even if if I offend you, it's in love, because I want to see you better, because I am better because of a Dr. Sean. I am better because of a Dr. Rita. I am better because of my brother. I am better because of my family. And I have the safety to go to them and say I'm hurting or I'm not feeling well, and I know that whatever that situation is, because I'm hurting, you're going to help bear me because I'm too weak to do this on my own.
But the other thing I want to drop into that is I've not known Sean that long, and Sean chose to trust me off of the strength of you.
Mm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
brought me into an intimate space with him just on the strength of somebody else. And he's had to
Yes.
trust that till he could trust what he knew of me. And the
Right.
same thing with the opposite with me with him. The same thing with you and I.
Mm-hmm.
We knew each other on a very
Yes.
general basis. And it was I just choose to trust you in a different way. And we've got to get to those places where we just
Yes.
trust. I just refuse to live my life without trusting someone. I had
That's right.
a pastor friend of mine that died not long ago. And
Mm.
one of the things he told me something that I would never have shared with anybody. I'd have gone to my grave with it. And one of the things that he told me, he said, Rita, I know I can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody that really knows me. And when he
Yes.
said to me, I had to look at my life because my life is framed around the church. And as a little girl, I knew not to say the truth to nobody, because what go on in the house, stay in the house. Y'all better stop acting like I'm the only one that heard that.
Oh
But
No,
yeah.
no, that's the gospel.
whatever go on in the house, stay in the house. And then when
Stay
my
in the
mother
house.
became in ministry, it's like, you don't say nothing to this person. And when you go over there, don't be answering their question about what go on in our household. Like, whatever. You know, and then when I got in ministry, you can't, you know, you learn how not to trust everybody around you.
Right.
And when he said that to me, he said, Rita, I want somebody that really
Yes.
knows me. And he died, and I had his secret, but I had to learn something from him. And it wasn't holding on to somebody's secret. I had to learn that's something that I want as well. I want somebody to know me for real. Not, not the Rita that they want at the church, not the Rita that my family,
Right.
the real Rita. And I need somebody that knows that. And you guys are learning that from me, and not weaponizing my inadequacies against me. And that's why I love y'all so.
Wanda, thank you so much for joining us. God bless you as well. Before we leave, and my heart is moved by Fontaine Baxter, rather. I'm sorry.
Yes, thanks, Fontaine.
Reading is so fundamental, and I wanted to because we talked about stressors, and I'm feeling some stress from Fontaine because of hurt, and church hurt is real, and I think church hurt hurts more because it's like friendly fire, not expected, but equally as deadly. If
And
not more
Fontaine
deadly.
is a gift. When I tell you he's a gifted man.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
answering you, because you hitting it like right there.
I just felt, Fontaine, I've been reading you and seeing your comments all night. So thank you for your transparency. Know that you got a family here that cares about you. This is, and I always want to create this to be a safe space for us to be able to share. And encourage each other, because sometimes, and I've been there, and we all have been there, we felt like the world has turned their back on us. Listen, because I might be experiencing a mental health challenge does not mean I have a mental health diagnosis. Let me say that one more time. Just because I'm experiencing a mental health challenge does not mean I have a mental health diagnosis. Because, listen, we all are going to experience some sort of depression at some time or another. We all are going to experience some sort of anxiety at one time or another. Depression and all these other things become. And what we do in our field is, we give you 6 months time frame before we say, you're going through adjustment disorder. We adjust when there's losses in our lives. We adjust when there's great things that happen in our lives. We adjust on a new job. We adjust with a new baby. We adjust with a new house. We adjust making new friends. We adjust losing friends, losing wages, whatever. But I want to encourage all of you on tonight, and I want each one of us to drop some words of encouragement to our people as we share how people can follow you as always as well. But Fontaine, I'm speaking to you directly, but everyone else is for you as well. Listen, continue to don't allow the past to determine and dictate your future. We are not defined by our past, but we're strengthened by the walk we have take each day and every day in that. And this whole thing called mental health is a journey. And I don't even call it mental health. Mental wellness is a decision that we wake up every day. I may not have done my best yesterday. I may not even feel like it today. But that's why I call myself the mental health hygienist, because just like I have to wash my body, I got to wash my mind and wash my spirit on a daily basis. Be encouraged. Bobby, talk to us. How do we follow you, and what's your words on tonight?
Yeah, no doubt. You can follow me at the B-Side Podcast Q, the B-Side Podcast Q on IG. You can follow me at ARSales2 on IG, ARSales2 IG, AlecRoberts.com. Go to Alec Roberts also on IG, and you can check me out on Rob_B-Sales on Twitter.
Yes. Oh, words of encouragement. Yes.
Oh, words of encouragement. My words of encouragement. Hey, all I can speak on my experiences, but anytime I get depressed or I'm down, I got to bring up a mental note to myself. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? Life's too short. Whatever I'm going through, somebody's going through it worse. What I'm going through, I can get over it. Like I said, problems are meant to be solved. my whole thing is like, hey, we got no time to rest. We ain't got no time to complain. We ain't got no time for any type of mental illness going on. Let's keep it moving. That's my words.
Come on, Bobby. That's my
Listen,
brother, y'all.
he been saying we need to talk a little more. We need a meeting afterwards to talk to Bobby. I got a concern or three we need to talk about. Bobby, you know where your brother Pen is?
I'm fine with it.
My brother who? My brother what?
Where his
Stop.
pen?
I'm not even playing with you tonight. I'm not playing with you tonight. Dr. Stewart, I'm not playing. I got my pen tonight. I'm not playing with you.
That's funny. That's funny. I was straight set up. Whoa. That was good. I gotta be careful. I gotta be more careful.
Dr. Story, go ahead, because we're not even going to let Dr. Sean talk no more tonight. Go ahead, Dr. Story.
Okay. Yes. And Fontaine, you know I love you like cook food, baby. And so there ain't
Yes.
absolutely nothing you could do about it. But I've always loved and appreciated you, and you're a gift to everybody that knows you
Yes.
as the body of Christ. And so, baby, stick and stay. Just stick and stay.
I like that.
But there's a word from Philippians. It says, be anxious about nothing, but in everything, with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind. Y'all can catch me at Dr. Marquerita's Story on Facebook, and The Real, These Other Daughters on Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube at Dr. Marquerita's Story. And I'm with Marty Sellers on the first Tuesday of every month.
Yes. Dr. Story, you have moved your prayer time to YouTube. Am I still correct on that?
Well, I'm trying to keep it on Facebook, but I've got a problem on Facebook. And so I'm having to move it over to YouTube. And I'm trying to get 100 people to join me on YouTube. So if y'all could join me.
I'm going to join you, baby. I'm joining you tonight. I already joined you anyway. Y'all go check out Dr. Story. She's amazing. She prays every day at 9 a.m. East Coast time. Am I correct?
West Coast.
West Coast. That's right. 12 noon on the East Coast. And it is powerful. Powerful. So let's get that going. Yes. Please post all the links. Okay. Can y'all post your links and all that in the chat for Kanitha? And I guess I'll let Dr. Bishop Sean now speak.
Well, you and Rita not saved. I just want to go on the record. I'm not saved. No, y'all ain't saved. Let me tell you why I know you ain't saved. I'm well within the volume of the book. How is it that how can Tom over in New York give time in California, but y'all don't have no time for the central people when she praying? So let me guess, God just took out the whole Bible book because y'all decide. I don't understand. Why is it you can know when she praying, what time it pop up in California, but the folk in the South don't, so we don't need prayer? Is that?
No, we're on. We're on, baby. We're on. We just
y'all figure things out your own way anyway. So we just let y'all continue to figure things out.
I don't know if y'all Central Mountain. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
You are all of us, and we 2 hours behind him. But it don't matter because y'all don't care about the South, and y'all not saved. But that's okay. So here, and Rob, when I get through, I'm gonna call you because I'm gonna need you to take and lay hands on your brother. I'm gonna give you some instructions.
No problem.
Yeah, you're gonna need to drain. You're gonna need to drain the old car.
Okay.
There, because I'm gonna need something to stick to him.
Yeah.
So
no
all
doubt.
jokes aside,
No doubt.
I went to the greatest HBCU on earth, the Prairie View A&M University, and we had a professor by the name of Dr. Albert Stewart. He was a chemist. He was a physicist, and he was a powerful math teacher. And every time you saw him, you would say, "Dr. Stewart, how are you?" Carry on. And every time when you walk past him, Dr. Stewart, good afternoon, carry on. And when class was over, he would pick his book up and he would say, carry on.
Carry on.
I want to leave this with you on today. No matter how rough your week, how stressful it is, I need you to carry on. You have the ability to do everything that's coming your way.
Come on.
Because I serve, the God I love, the God I live for, has given you the ability to endure hardship as a good soldier. And I'm excited that you are in the army of the Lord. Me. Oh, you can find me at fchouston.org. You can go to the church website. Everything you need to know about me, how to find me, how to get to me, connect with me, is all right there at fchouston.org. We have an app. All you got to do is go to Google or Apple, down Freedom Church Houston. You'll find us right there. There's a place for you to connect with me. All of my social media is my name. I am Sean, Shon, Stewart with 2 T's, and you can find me there, and we can connect, and anything I can do to help you move along in this journey we call life. I'm here for you, because freedom is for everyone, not some of us.
Yes, come on. I love it. I love it. Listen, we ran a little over tonight, y'all, because we was just having such a good time. These are my brothers and sisters in Christ, and my brother, but
Y'all had to be there. I'm trying to tell you, it's very funny.
Listen.
just in case I lose a pen in the future, I got a whole bunch. But listen, we ain't gonna hold you any longer. We are so glad that you joined us. Talk to us next week. We pray in our strength in the Lord these last and evil COVID days out here in these streets, because Bishop is making fun of my
in these
pens.
gospel streets.
In these gospel streets. These gospel streets, but I keep some pens because I always got to take note. We want you to take note too. Don't continue. Daryl, we're going out of here to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. And we thank God for the Mac in the back, but we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. Join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all in the South, either 9 or 8, wherever you may be. Love you all.
And we thank you.
We thank you too. We thank you. God bless you. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Enjoy your life, be free, and life, enjoy.